Okay, so it's the end of June 2026, and today we are going to look at a brand new feature which is coming out in July, I believe, to most Windows 11 system. Now, this allows you to restore your system back to an earlier point in time. The new utility built into Windows is called Point in Time Restore. Now, you might be thinking, well, hang on a minute, we've had System Restore for many years. What are the differences? Well, later on in this video, I'm going to go through the differences between Point in Time Restore and System Restore, and there's quite a big difference. I'm also going to give you a demonstration of Point in Time Restore in action later on in this video too. So let's dive in. What exactly is Point in Time Restore? Well, it's Windows 11's new built-in recovery facility. If something goes wrong with your computer, then you can reset the computer back to what it was at an earlier point in time. It acts a bit like an image-based system such as Macrium Reflect or Hasleo Backup, where when you restore your system back, it restores absolutely everything, including Windows programs, settings, and user files. This is certainly handy if something goes drastically wrong with your system, or you're hit by that dreaded ransomware and all your files have been locked. You're also covered if your system simply won't boot, because you can run Point in Time from outside Windows, just like I'm doing right now. Now, before we continue, I should stress, don't go throwing away your backup systems, because the big problem here is Point in Time Restore can help in most occasions when something goes wrong with your system, but the actual backup is stored on the same disk as the system itself. So if your hard drive where your Windows system is located goes down, then Point in Time Restore isn't going to work, because the backup files that it uses are stored on exactly the same hard drive. You can find out if you've already got Point in Time Restore just by clicking on the Start button and then just start to type on your keyboard Point in Time. And as you're typing it, it should come up under Best Match, Point in Time Restore. Click on that, and then you should see at the bottom of System Recovery, Point in Time Restore. Now, if you haven't got it yet, it should be coming in the next month or two, so just keep an eye out for it after the next Windows update is installed. So I'm just going to click on View or Edit. The screen may darken here, and it may say, do you want to allow this app to make changes to your device? Well, as long as it says Settings and the verified publisher is Microsoft Windows, then it's okay to click on Yes. You need to turn on Point in Time Restore if it's not already on. That activates it. And you will see here, or you may see here, depending on what version of Windows you've got restore point frequency. That is how often it creates a backup image of your system. So mine's set to every 24 hours. And restore point retention, so for how long it actually keeps the restore point. And mine says 72 hours. And you will notice on mine they're greyed out, and they might be greyed out on yours too. If they are, then it's because your edition of Windows doesn't allow you to alter either of those settings. So it is quite primitive, unfortunately, compared to some of the other disk imaging systems like Macrium Reflect or Hasleo Backup, but it's a freebie. What do you expect? So let's carry on. So restore point disk usage is currently 1.5 gigabytes on mine, and you can set there the maximum amount of disk space you want Point in Time Restore to use. So at the moment I've got mine set to 12.7 gigabytes, but you can go all the way up to, there you go, 79.3 gigabytes on mine. This may vary on system to system depending on the size of your hard drive, but you can just move that bar up and down to set your usage. And you've also got below there current restore point, so that tells me that the restore point I've only got one at the moment, and that was taken last night at 9:53 in the evening. Now, one of the other drawbacks on this is you can't choose when it creates the restore point. It just does that for you automatically. So unlike System Restore, so you just sort of think to yourself, well, I'm just about to install a program or a printer or an app or something like that onto my system. I want to create a restore point now. You can't choose when you're going to set that restore point. It does it automatically for you every 24 hours. What if your computer isn't switched on? Well, I guess it will do it as soon as it's switched on again after 24 hours. So although the options are pretty limited on my system, it's obviously still worth having because you never know, at some point it might save your bacon. But if you do want something a little bit more flexible, then you could go for the free version of Aero Backup, which gives you much more flexibility in creating system backups. So come on then, let's have a look at point-in-time restore in action. So I've just got the one restore point that was created yesterday. And since creating that restore point, I have installed Google Chrome on the system. I've also, just in the documents folder there, I've created a little document called doc test. And if I open that up, it just quite simply has in there, this doc was created at 12:45 on the 28th of the 6th, 2026. I've also put a folder in the root of the C drive called test folder. And in there, I've just put a document called testing and it just says test in it. So I just want to see what happens to those, see if it does actually affect programs, files in user folders and files outside of user folders. So, okay, so I'm going to restart my system now and get it to go into the recovery mode. Now, if your system isn't booting, then you can do this just by literally just letting it try to boot up 3 times, and I think on the 3rd time or 4th time it will automatically go into this. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on restart just there whilst holding down the shift key, and that will take us into the recovery section. Okay, so it's now saying please wait, so it's coming into the system recovery. And on yours, if you've got a password set at some point in this process, it might ask you for the password that you log into the system with. So I'm going to go into troubleshoot, and then there we go. I've got point in time restore there. So I click on point in time restore and it's now searching for the restore points. There's only one there at the moment, but if there were more, they would be listed down there. So there we go, 9:53 p.m. So I clicked on that and it tells us about it here. So it says all changes made on this PC after the restore point will be lost. This includes data, documents, downloads, installed apps and configurations, system settings, updates and other changes, passwords, secrets, certificate keys. Data stored in the cloud, services like OneDrive won't be lost. By continuing, you acknowledge the risks and limitations with this feature, which may include data loss. And it tells you there you go, learn more at aka.ms/Windows point in time restore. So, okay, I accept that. I'm going to click continue. And again, it gives us another warning here. It says you're about to restore your PC to the exact state it was in at the selected restore point. This action cannot be undone. Warning, all changes made on this PC after the restore point will be lost. So there we go. So it gives us the date and time. So anything that happened to the system prior to that date and time will be lost. So, and it then warns us there, it says keep your PC powered on during the restore, plug your PC into a power source to avoid interruption. So if you've got a laptop, make sure it's plugged into the wall socket here, because if the battery dies halfway through restoring, it's probably going to corrupt the system. So once you've done all that, once it's all plugged in and you're happy to continue, then just click restore. And let's see, there you go. It's saying preparing, keep your device on. Okay, so wow, that took 2 hours and 22 minutes to do the restore. So something like Macrium Reflect or Aero Backup would be a lot quicker to restore that system. But I should stress, my system is an older system with no solid state hard drive. It's got the traditional hard drive, so that could be the reason that it took longer. It possibly could have took half the time or quarter of the time if it had a faster hard drive, but it's still a long time regardless. Okay, so the system has finally restored, it's booted up, and I can see straight away that Google Chrome is missing. Now, are the files and folders that I'd made up beforehand, have they been retained or are they missing? let's go into Documents, and Documents is empty. Let's have a look at that test folder that I created in the root. Nope, that has gone as well. So it truly has restored the system back to exactly how it was as it said. So again, this is very, very handy, especially if you've got ransomware. But obviously the downside to this is, as it's restored it to what it was 24 hours ago, any work you've done on the computer, if you haven't backed it up in the meantime, then you're going to have to redo that work again. So as I said earlier, we are going to compare point-in-time restore with system restores. So, okay, what does it restore? Point-in-time restores, it restores the entire system, disk, VM, database or backup contents, whereas system restore just restores system files, registry, drivers and installed programs. User files, these are restored to an earlier state in point-in-time restore, but in system restore, they are generally not affected. Typical use of point-in-time restore is to recover from data loss, corruption, ransomware, or a complete system failure, whereas system restore, the purpose really is to undo a problematic driver, update or software installation. So there is a difference between the two, and the two can still work hand in hand. Okay, so before we go, let's just try another little test. Let's purposely corrupt a program. So for instance, let's corrupt Microsoft Edge. Let's accidentally delete all the files for Microsoft Edge and just see what happens. So I'm going to delete it now. Okay, it's saying that it can't be fully deleted because it's open. So I'll tell you what, let's go in there and let's just delete. Let's just try deleting. There you go, the main program for Edge, and let's just try deleting some of these other files as well, just to see. Let's skip the files that are in use. Okay, right, and let's see if we can open Edge, and no, there you go, we can't open it. So let's just try going into point-in-time restore. So let's just type it in there. Let's go into the advanced start up there. So click restart now, restart. So let's go into troubleshoot, point-in-time restore, and let's restore back, continue, restore. Okay, and now it's preparing. It's going to go through, and we'll come back to this once it's actually finished the restore. Okay, so Windows has now booted up, and let's check out Microsoft Edge. Now, I deleted all the files for Microsoft Edge earlier, so let's just double click on it. And there we go, it's loaded. So there we are, that's proof that a corrupted program can be restored using Windows 11's brand new point-in-time restore.